I've said this before on my Facebook page, but I feel like the best education I ever got was actually in middle school, because whenever I wanted to, I could just raise my hand and like say, Mr. B, I don't feel like being in class right now. Can I go to the library? He'd say, of course you can, Holland. So I'd walk upstairs to the library and just read for hours and hours and hours.
Learn about whatever you wanted. Was
Pretty
that at
much.
Langley Middle School?
Yes.
That's awesome. Who is Mr. B?
Mr. Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett was rad. I never had
Yeah.
him, but everybody loved. He was such a good teacher, and I think that's part of why is he recognized that everyone was an individual and treated them as such.
Yeah, they wouldn't stand for him in today's education system.
I wonder what happened to him. I'm sure he stayed until he retired, but
He did retire. I think he saw what was going on and was like, you know what? It's been a good run.
yeah, time to run away now.
Pretty much.
That's basically what I did too. I was like, wow, this has been great, and now it's horrifying, and I'm terrified of what the future brings for education, and I don't want to be a part of it.
True. I think like I think like a lot of people have misinterpreted me over the years. Thing is, like, people don't know this. Like, some people who are watching or may watch in the future don't know this, but I wear a mask like nearly all the time. Even right now I'm wearing a mask. The truth is, like, I am not like this all the time.
Yes.
I have Tourette's syndrome and some other stuff. Obviously, like, people think, like, people with Tourette's, they shout out things and curse and stuff, and we do. Sometimes we say things twice, sometimes we say things twice, but, yeah. My thing is, sometimes I say things twice, but other times I just blurt out something so frickin' offensive, and, like, it's not that I think that way, or even that I wanted to say it, but people think I say it because I want to, when the point is, like, I'm not trying to say it. It just happens that I can form it in a complex sentence and not just shout it out.
Yeah, so it's way different from what people's ideas are about what Tourette's is they think you're going to be like sudden and violent and loud, and really
Yeah.
you can just say something that sounds like very like volume wise and tone wise like very average and normal, but actually that is a so do you like feel that coming on, or is that just random and you'll just like realize it afterwards, or what?
It just happens. Thing
Yeah.
is, I'm usually able to manage quite a great deal of self-control, but sometimes,
Nice job.
especially like when I'm by myself or like in my private area, sometimes I'll just let go and let my control slip.
Wow, that's like something I don't think a lot of people could even understand. Like I'm having a hard time imagining being like really controlled all of the time and then being able to consciously like dial that back and let it kind of all like loose. And
It took me decades and years of failure to learn to control it. Like, every time I would have an outburst when I was little, I'd be like, I gotta stop that, I'll try next time. And then, like, next time I'd fail. And, like, after a couple decades, maybe 2.5 decades, I finally started to get it under control.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
that's the thing. Like, don't give up, just keep trying.
Yeah. Well, you like had to. I mean, you had no other choice. So you
Yeah.
learned that more than most people would.
Thing is, like, people hear, like, you're disabled, they automatically think you're stupid or something.
Yes.
That's not my issue. My issue that isn't that I'm stupid. My issue is that I'm too damn smart.
Oh yeah, you're ridiculously smart.
I often think I'm quite stupid.
No, see, that's actually a sign of someone who's intelligent is that they imagine that they're stupid and they imagine because you're so smart that you're aware of all the things you're not aware of. That's how smart you are. And so you feel like, you know, oh, I don't know everything or I'm not aware of all of this, but that's actually a sign of intelligence. Really, really stupid people think they're really smart, and really, really smart people like think that they're not quite there yet. So it's kind of interesting, like, dichotomy there. But
I think it's really interesting because due to the nature of my family and like our connections, I've actually grown up among some of the smartest people in the U.S.
yeah, like Elliot Cribbs.
Well, definitely there's him, but I'm thinking more like Dave Campbell, Jay Welch, some other people I can't really mention.
I don't know these people.
I know, it's...
Are they island people?
No.
Oh, okay. Are they famous people?
Jay Welch is.
Is he?
Yeah.
What does he do?
He's like a mathematical genius, kind of like a Renaissance man, but what he's really known for is his music. It's like
Wow.
excellent musician. Like I remember like back in the day, me and him, we would just like we'd be on the couch listening to opera as we were nodding off. He was my grandfather.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are really intelligent, and then you're surrounded by other really intelligent geniuses, and so that definitely helps too. I think that's a really good point about like what people's perceptions are of different disabilities. And I was talking to some people recently about, I'm still trying to figure out like how I want to make money or whatever now that I'm not teaching, and so I think about doing sort of like childcare tutoring sort of thing. And one of the times I did this, I had a girl I worked with who was high functioning Asperger's autism, and it was awesome. And I was with her for 4 years, and people are always like, oh, that's so hard. And when I talk about doing that again, they're like, wow, you're like brave or whatever. And I'm like, it's not anything. Like really, like it's just normal. Like I think people, I don't know what that is that makes people not really get that everyone is still just a normal person. We just have like different ways of experiencing and different ways of expressing and different hurdles to overcome, but it's not like this person is, I don't even know what I don't even know what the word is. Like, I don't know what they expect that, I don't know. I don't know why people have that sort of idea. I'm like, I think what it is people just need to like hang out with more people who have those sorts of things going on so they can see that like, just a normal person,
I just think it's interesting. Well, I don't know if you know this, but like, I think it was 97 or 98, I was institutionalized.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was kind of freaking out too much. I was just having rage issues.
Yeah.
They kind of stuck me in institution for about a little over a week and a half, to figure out like meds and stuff.
Yeah.
It was an interesting experience. Interestingly enough, like this was down in Salt Lake City, Utah as well. And during that little stint there, I discovered something.
What was it?
The best coffee you can get in Salt Lake City, Utah is coffee ice cream. That's like the best you're going to get.
That's what you took from that scenario, is ice cream in Utah.
Well, the thing is, like, I've been down to Utah many times, and I've been to their best coffee place. And, like, I was drinking their coffee, and I was like, okay, I realize two things now. One is, like, people down in Utah have no idea what good coffee tastes like.
No.
And two, the best coffee they have is the free coffee you can get up here at the bank.
It's all that Mormon junk. Stops people from being able to have good coffee.
To be fair, they don't know what good seafood is either.
True. Yeah. Poor guys. But they have, like, the best salt in the world, so.
They have Mrs. Backer's cake. Interestingly enough, I do reference Mrs. Backer's cake in the book I want to talk about later.
Okay. I want to stick with institutionalization for a second, though, because we're all institutionalized at some level because we all go through the education system, and that's an institution, and it's meant to have a similar sort of effect, right? Where they're like, want to control your behavior and your way of thinking and whatever outcomes. But yours is obviously that would have been like a more intensive, very specific, like, outcome that they wanted. But did you feel like this was a benefit to your life overall?
Yeah, they recalibrated some of my medications, so when I came out, I was actually a lot calmer than people had previously known me. Obviously, like, things weren't 100% with me, but that wouldn't happen until, like, summer of 2001.
And I think I met you shortly after that.